It's the National Football League presented by EA Sports. Tonight we polish off Week 10 with a good Monday night matchup between the Los Angeles Chargers and the Houston Texans. And we are underway from NRG Stadium in Houston. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
Ready, set.
On the ground, it's Pierce to begin the drive. And he'll work his way across the 30 to the 32. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. Well, this defense for the Chargers, they were very good in the win last week against Jacksonville.
I have to admit, I was extremely impressed by what I saw on tape because they stayed in the face of the quarterback the entire game, ended up getting 4 sacks total, and made it difficult for him to step up and find receivers downfield. Also made it hard for him to escape the pocket and run.
And Pierce gets it again on 2nd down. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Give him 17 on the pickup there, and the Texans also get a new set of downs. If you start assessing what went wrong last week, Charles, in their loss, it had nothing to do with the ground game. They ran it well.
And you also have to say to yourself as a team, don't go away from what worked. That's not the reason the game was lost. Running the football overtime, when you do it consistently, usually.
Trying to force it to Hopkins, and it's intercepted. Isaiah Simmons picking it off. And the Chargers are going to take possession of the football. Well, that is a quick lesson on how difficult this defense is to throw against. An interception on their initial drive of the ball game.
Now we know why their offensive staff spent the entire week awake trying to prepare for this one, because you can't totally shy away from throwing the football. But at the same time, you're looking at them and going, where are the weaknesses? How are we going to move it?
One of the top defenses in the NFL for a reason. We just saw one example right there. After the turnover, here's Herbert. It's caught at the 10. And he is out of bounds, but first he gets it inside the 10 to the 7. A gain of 37. Charles, you talk so much about quick change plays. There's one right there. You get the turnover, and boom, hit him with a big one.
And defenses plan for this all the time. They work on it in practice. But in the middle of the game, when that quick change takes place, oftentimes guys aren't as focused as they need to be.
That'll bring up 2nd and goal after the gain of 5. Really been an ideal start for them. They get the turnover on the opening possession. Now here they are moving the ball straight down the field on their first drive.
And that feels good, but you know on their side of the field all they're thinking is finish this drive off because they took it away, right? So now you got them back on their heels a little bit. Now go down, put a touchdown on them. Look out. You've won the mental battle early in the game, and that may carry over for you.
What a gain of a couple. The defense stiffening here. It's 3rd and goal. Not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground.
And he'll get in. He's over for the touchdown. The sneak successful from a yard out. And the Chargers take the early turnover and convert it into an opening touchdown. Extra point splits the uprights, and it's now a 7-0 game. The kick unit on here for the Chargers as they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And the interception on that opening drive winds up leading to the touchdown, so now it's kind of time to start over.
Yeah, it certainly is, and his first throw of the game. But I like the way his guys rallied around him. Oftentimes, the quarterback is the leader, right? He tells everyone what to do. In this case, I noticed his linemen around him kind of patting him, saying, let's go, big boy. You're still our leader.
They'll run here with Pierce. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to second down. They'll look to throw. And down he goes. Pressure gets him back at the 14. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
Second goal, last thing you need to do is get pushed backwards to take a sack. But he couldn't find anywhere to go with the football. Had to eat it and ended up on the ground.
Interested to see what they dial up here. 3rd and goal with a lot of green between them and the end zone.
Left wing 19. 19 tight. 19 tight.
They'll look to throw here. A solid run of 11 there as he tucked in and ran, but he's still short of the marker, and it's 4th.
I thought he did a pretty good job there to get back what he could, but let's face it, that sack on second down, talk about throwing a wrench into the works. It certainly did.
Yeah, he did everything he could there trying to pick up some positive yardage, and he did, but not enough. And now the Chargers are going to look up here and signal for a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. On now, Tucker McCann. This a chip shot, a 20-yarder. McCann's kick is good. So a long drive gets him down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
And I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, they just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. The Charger drive about to get going. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're #1 in their conference.
Back to the air. Herbert on second down. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. And see, you look at this defense, what kind of pressure are they under trying to stop a team that has won 5 games in a row?
To me, it makes their job harder because you know you're going up against an offense that's playing at an elite level. And sometimes you can get too caught up in trying to play the perfect game. You're trying to be too precise, too fine, instead of just letting it rip. And I think that's more the problem.
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Derek Stingley picks it. And they will score. Hit 6 for the Texans TD.
Charles, you can just see the frustration on the sideline. Safe to say that's not how they expected this series to go. The ball only went one way, and it was backward into their own end zone, courtesy of the pick 6.
And, Brandon, how often do we hear offenses tell us before a game they want to end every series with a kick, right? A punt, a PAT, or a field goal. In the case of a defense, they want to end with a punt or a takeaway. And we saw the takeaway right there, and it turned out to be a takeaway that turned into 6 points.
Oh, a good-looking return set up here. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. He will score. Touchdown, Chargers.
That was a special return, and it happened because he's a special returner. He has to have that approval from his special teams coach's head coach to bring it out of the end zone.
But let's be honest, a lot of times where they bring it out of the end zone like he did there, they don't have approval. I mean, I think a lot of times they do, but correct me if I'm wrong. Sometimes it's just a guy getting a feel, right?
You're exactly right. What's the old adage? Sometimes you just have to know when to break the rules. And if you do, you're taking on some responsibility. But he was happy to do so there.
Extra point right down the middle. And the lead is now 14-10. So now the other return teams out there as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. And they have the game here followed by the open date on their calendar next weekend. And Charles, this is a crew that you have to think really is relishing the opportunity to be on the couch for a few days.
Yeah, they certainly are, but let's face it, partner. They can't get caught looking ahead to that couch time while they're playing this one. They've got to take care of business first.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. And Pierce gets it again on 2nd down. And he'll take this up to the 30, a gain of 4.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
An extra cornerback now in the game for the Chargers here on 3rd.
18
They'll set up a throw. He gets it left side to Johnson. And he is going to have a Texans first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
All right, let's just go ahead and walk through this one pretty easily, right? Blast off the line of scrimmage, get downfield to a certain point, usually around 8 to 10 yards, turn around and make sure the quarterback sees your numbers and set yourself up for the pass.
A well-executed curl route by Charles Davis.
And he'll be taken down at about the 45. The Texans at 4-5, a game under 500. Well, they were losers last time out, trying to turn things around here in this one.
And it always helps to have a home crowd behind you, giving you encouragement as long as you give them something good to cheer about. So, you know, they just want to come out and play well for their faithful, and I expect them to do just that.
On a determined run there as he's going to take this all the way down near the 40. 114 yards rushing for him now as he has gotten the night off to a hot start.
Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. I also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. An entertaining start to this one. More to come on EA Sports. Still 9 remaining on 2nd down. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. And the Chargers rush is going to get there. Down he goes. Kenneth Murray. He brought the pressure on the blitz, and he gets there for a loss of 12.
All about the offense so far this drive, putting something sustained together. But the defense, they responded on that play. 2nd and manageable became 3rd and long. The drive marching to the end zone is one play from stalling out.
It's a short one here, complete to his tight end.
And he'll be brought down on the other side of midfield at the 43.
Brandon, a good idea there on 3rd down. Run a little clear out and hope you can get your receiver the ball coming across the formation. Nice design, but well played defensively, and they stop him well short.
McCann's kick up and good. Charles, even as long field goals become more and more common, this is still a very rarefied air. Only just over 20 field goals have been kicked from 60 yards or further, and you can add his name to the list now.
And as calm as he tried to present himself, there's no doubt there were some nerves as he lined up to attempt that kick. But once the ball was snapped, he just swept the leg and boom, over the crossbar.
The Charger drive about to get going. They'll start this drive out on the ground. They find some open field here. And he's going to be out of bounds all the way down inside the 15. A big play there for L.A. 63 yards. One of the reasons that this team is on this win streak, big runs like that.
When you see runs like that broken off, you know this is a team that's confident running the football. A big reason why this streak has occurred, they've come together.
And he takes it in for a Charger touchdown. A great play there.
With his 9th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Chargers are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
The extra point up and good. And the lead is up to 8. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
It is fielded right at the goal line.
Well, a dangerous return man showing it here. And they're going to have good starting field position. He's out of bounds, but not before he's across the 35. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive.
Well, partner, fast forward with me for a second. Remember, next week they have the open week, so they're going to get some extended rest. Does that change how they manage the rest of this one?
I think it does a little bit, but not by too much, because you're right. You get the extra rest, you get a chance to heal up and kind of, do a little bit of a reset for this team. But it's also 7 extra days to think back to the last time you were on the field. So now, a little more importance on what they're getting done because they carry it with them for essentially 2 weeks.
Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Johnson. Was that a design pass, or what was that?
It was built into the play call. He had the opportunity to either hand it inside, keep it himself to run it, or do what he just did. Throw that pass inside, hitting a receiver on the run.
They're going to look to throw. He'll let it go deep for Beckham. And he fires one that's intercepted.
And the Chargers will have solid field position here as they take over at their 45-yard line.
A tough adjustment to the NFL throughout his rookie season, and his problem with turnovers is only exacerbated by his early showing today. That's a couple for him here in this first half, and he's cleared the double-digit mark for the entire season.
The Charger drive about to get going.
They'll start following the interception in great field position at the 45.
They'll start on the ground here on first down. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through. But that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
Rush coming, and he's taken down.
Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
Well, that was a bouncer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense. They kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that's knocked away and incomplete. So it doesn't look like they're going to be able to build off the turnover.
Well, the defense certainly did its part to get him the football. But you're exactly right. It looks like they're going to have to punt this one away. and it's not a turnover, but doesn't it feel like one after grabbing the momentum with the defensive play?
Yeah, and they had all that momentum after getting the football, and now zapped right back in the other direction. And he'll be out of bounds right at the 40. A nice punt, but a good run back as well, 13 yards. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. And they dipped a game below 500 following the loss last week. And you get the sense that maybe this team's at a little bit of a crossroads here.
Yeah, I think that's a really good way to put it, because what's that old malaprop? If you come to a fork in the road, take it. Because this group, they're losing ground fast. They've got to start winning some ball games. And the good teams, they're starting to separate themselves, and these guys are being left behind.
121 yards for him on the ground so far tonight, as he has been terrific in this first half.
Let's go now.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Caught left side, Hopkins.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work this to the 45.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. He'll wind up losing 3, and now it's 3rd down.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
The Texans on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 7. Looking to throw. Hard throw, incomplete.
How about this defense? They came up with a couple big plays in this sequence, and none better than the one right there, forcing the incompletion and bringing up 4th down.
And the punter's on the sideline. Here's the field goal unit now to try an exceptionally long one.
McCann's kick is good. But for almost 8 years, 64 stood as the NFL record for the longest field goal. That has since been eclipsed. It's now 66, but still 64-yarder. Pretty impressive, CD.
Absolutely agree with that, because if you drill a 60-yarder in an NFL game, you've got a lot to be proud of, record or no record. And only a handful of guys can even attempt it. Excellent job there, putting that one through the pipes.
The Charger drive about to get going.
As we eat closer and closer to intermission, Charles, remember last time out they punted. They would love to get points here, especially if this is going to be their final possession of the first half.
Yeah, and this is what close games feel like, because the pressure is on both sides, but sometimes the pressure is a little bit higher on the team with the slight edge, because they're trying to hold on to that, trying to increase it. We'll see how this one continues.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 1:55 left to go in the first half of play.
We score. Oh, man, I can't believe this. Oh, man, come on.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Herbert.
That's into the hands of Donovan Peoples-Jones. And he's going to be marked down just inside the 35.
We didn't need to ask around the league, but we got to confirm this guy's a good player. They've got to find a way to get him more involved, call a few more plays that target him.
Absolutely, because here we are toward the end of the first half, and that's the first target, not just the first catch, first target. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
And he gets halfway home from the 10 to the 5 on a pickup of 5. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Now they send a man in motion right. On second down now. Teague, they lost 4 there, and it's third down. They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. A play fake, and now Herbert to throw. And this is going to be intercepted. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. The defense looked geared up to stop the run, but obviously, Charles, they were ready for the pass, too.
Yeah, they were hoping they could catch everyone crashing and playing the run, but that was a very ill-advised throw right there. The opportunity, lost.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And the ball backed way up, so thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
Now keep in mind, if you're thinking of staying on the ground, this is a top 5 rush defense.
Yeah, but I don't think you shy away totally with the run. At least show them the hint of a run before you decide to throw the football.
Go on, boys. Here we go.
Get it! 19 white! Warriors 17!
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. That's underneath to Pierce. He's up to the 20. And they work this out past the 25. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see.
Ready! Panther 60! Panther 60!
First and 10, it's Pierce. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. So we've come to halftime in a 5-point game. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. So the Chargers will start the second half with the lead and the football as we're underway in the third quarter. From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one. The Charger drive about to get going. And, Charles, they got the lead. I would imagine the overall halftime tone was a positive one, but what do you think the talking points were in the locker room?
Well, if there were 3 talking points at the half, partner, all of them were about turnovers because they were pretty loose with the ball. Otherwise, this lead could be even bigger. Now, I don't think that they overly harped on it, but I think they told them, guys, if you want to keep calling those plays that are exciting, you've got to take care of the ball. Otherwise, we may have to dial things back a little bit. Partner, I think he's got to be careful as he continues to try to extend plays because he's already been intercepted in this game. And the coverage, they continue to challenge all of his receivers downfield.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Herbert. And a quick throw here. That's complete. And some room to maneuver. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. They give him a gain of 37. That's evidence of why you spend a high draft pick on a receiver, isn't it, Charles?
It certainly is. His ability to make plays like that, and we've seen flashes of it from him so far in his rookie season. But also, it opens things up for the rest of the offense because they have to bring their attention to him as well.
Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. A well-executed 22-yard gain. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
Herbert back to the air. And he's going to go down. He's sacked back at the 24. The sack there by Rasheed Brady.
They've got over 30-yard return so far, but a sack knocks him backwards. And that helps the momentum they were building. Good opportunity for the defense to escape this drive before they get to the end zone.
Right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains.
Going to throw on 3rd down with Herbert. Under pressure, they got him again. And the defense coming through on 3rd down. Loss of 7 to bring up 4. And he missed it. He missed it just wide of that left upright. It's no good. And they'll be unable to build here on their 5-point lead.
Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. They'll start on the ground with Pierce. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43.
From the lineman to the guy running with it, that was a well-executed first down by the offense. With 2 shots left to get the first, you can get a little aggressive here on 2nd down if you want and try for some bigger yardage.
And Pierce gets it again on 2nd down. And a strong run that time as he's across midfield and down to the 43. 147 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night. He continues to have a big night here under the lights carrying the football.
And some guys prefer night games. For whatever reason, their bodies react a certain way. They love the spotlight. Maybe that's what it is. The best seats in the house, the ones where he's carrying the football for his offensive teammates. The worst seats, the 11 guys trying to tackle him on defense.
Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Maybe I'm wrong, but it looked like even if he had opted to keep that, I don't think there was going to be much to gain.
Seemed like it was perfectly defense. And know what they say? Those guys on the other side, they get paid too.
On 2nd down, here's Pierce. And very little there. He might have gotten a yard. Yeah, I think he got a yard to the 41.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game. And while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
The line to gain is the 33 on 3rd down.
60 Maverick, 60 Maverick. Cowboy 80. 79 Broncos.
They'll drop to throw. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Isaiah Simmons picking it off. And the Chargers are going to get it back here just past the 35. Certainly not what he was hoping for, Charles. That's now 3 interceptions in this ball game.
But there's a lot of knowledge to be gleaned every time you throw an interception if you do things the right way. And hasn't there been a pretty darn good quarterback along the way who threw a lot of interceptions early, learned from them, and became great later?
Who would that be?
That'd be one Peyton Manning, threw 28 his rookie year. That's the NFL record. How'd things turn out for him?
I think okay. He's a guy in all the commercials now.
Yeah, I think he's doing okay.
Brought down on the play by the linebacker, Christian Harris.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Justin Herbert looking to pass. He finds his man, complete. It's Bennett. So just 3 yards on the completion there. 3rd and 7 now.
It's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because of the drag play. He ran a little shallower than normal as he walked straight across the field. He was hoping to get lost behind the defensive line. But once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
The Texans here on 3rd down, putting an extra defender in the secondary. Play action. It's Herbert. This one complete to Jalen Waddle. And he is going to have the Chargers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Whenever we talk about moving the sticks and controlling the football, there's a great example right there. Those are the 3rd downs you need to convert to win football games. We're in the 3rd quarter of this one, and this is a tight one. In order to maintain pace, keep the ball away from the other team, and put points on the board, those are the plays they need to continue to convert.
On 2nd and 12, Herbert. He's got his tight end on the corner route. It's complete.
And he's going to be taken down just shy of the 35.
The beauty of route running is it doesn't matter what position, everyone's doing the same thing. In this case, tight end, selling the vertical route, get the defensive back on his heels, break off in the corner. With good timing, you get a completion, as we just saw there.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down.
Herbert wants to throw it on 3rd and 1. Wide open receiver, complete. And he's going to be taken down with another first down as the stop's made at the Texans' 18. Defense was thinking run, and they're dealt a pass of just under 20 yards. One quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night. You are watching the NFL.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Herbert. Flush to his right. He's got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Chargers. A great effort there with touchdown number 12 on the year.
And the Chargers add on to their lead, and it's looking like that win streak is going to extend another week.
Point after, right down the middle. And it gives his guys a 12-point advantage. The kick unit on here for the Chargers as they will send this one away.
From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone.
And he's going to be out of bounds here right at the 20-yard line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive.
And you figure after giving up that last touchdown, they trail by 2 scores here in the 4th quarter. This drive becomes very critical.
Now this one complete downfield on the left side. Rookie to rookie on the hook up there, and it's a first down. 4th quarter, every drive so critical, and you figure they only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the second touchdown. You got the first one for the second one to even matter.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Running it out of the gun with Pierce.
And able to use his blockers to get this up over the 40.
156 yards on the ground for him now as he's gotten better, really, as the night's gone on.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run. Got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So up through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now.
Come back team! Come back team!
2nd and 2. He'll take a shot for the end zone.
And, oh, it's incomplete. Oh, that would have been 6 points, but somehow he couldn't rein it in.
When you're leading in the final quarter, your radar has to be up for any potential deep shots. And probably not the last one they're going to see in this game, not as long as they hold this lead.
Buffalo 18! 60 Bobcat! 60 Bobcat!
They'll go to the air here on 3rd and 2. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there.
18 Cardinals! 18 Cardinals! Ready?
On 4th down, they'll try and run for it. And, boy, is he close. Did he get there? No, they're going to say he's short of the line to gain. The Texans tried it, but they come up empty here on 4th. And the Chargers will get the football back in excellent field position. Play action this time for Justin Herbert. He's going to wind up and air it out. Touchdown!
Jalen Waddle.
42 yards.
And the Chargers are closing in on a 9th victory on the year as they extend their lead. Well, this, of course, set up by the stop a moment ago on 4th down, and now that might be the score that puts this one officially out of reach.
And it's a tough one because your hands are tied when you're losing in the 4th quarter because you know you've got to make something happen. They couldn't pick up the 1st down, and after that, the air just went right out of the balloon, and you knew you were looking at a defeated team.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
And we'll see a return here from the end zone. And he's probably realizing he should have stayed in the end zone as he can only muster a return to the 14-yard line.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
Ready!
Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going.
Facing a big 4th quarter deficit here, things not looking good. You know, this offense, though, they've been in the top half of the NFL so far.
He's got a man, complete.
And he's going to be marked down just inside the 35.
Every defensive staff harps on limiting explosive plays. Job not so well done there.
Yeah, they talk about it all the time. A lot harder to stop, though, isn't it? And when you think of an explosive play, most offensive staffs define them as passes of 20 or more yards and runs of 15 or more yards.
They went zooming past that number there. And he whips that one incomplete there.
This has obviously been a bad loss, but one of the few things they can still do is try and throw the ball all the way to the end zone and get some points on the board so they're not shut out over the final 2 quarters of this game.
From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. Back to throw. Here's Johnson with a reception. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. 23 yards the pickup there.
A 3-score game here late. You can probably rule out the comeback, but certainly some kind of a moral victory to be had if they can get a few more points to close things out. And to that end, a nice pass play there to push things downfield.
Yeah, and we know in this league, a loss is a loss, and no one wants anything to count as a moral victory or, boy, something that feels a little bit cheap. But if they trim that lead down to just 2 scores, that's still a benefit to the squad.
Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's 2nd down.
I did like his decision-making there to make sure they picked up something instead of forcing the throw. Now they've got more manageable play coming up to try and pick up the first down, and don't rule out the possibility that he just keeps it and runs again.
Four yards there as they let him out of the pocket, and he got enough for the first.
It hasn't been the cleanest game for him, but there was a sign of improvement as he looks towards the next one. Nice bit of scrambling to move the sticks, and even more importantly, he didn't risk adding another interception to his ledger.
It's a quarterback sneak, and he stopped immediately there. So they've been in the red zone 3 times, and it's yielded just 3 points. Can they find the end zone here on 2nd and goal? They'll try and sneak it here, and I don't think he got in. The big bodies up front held him at the 1. Officially no gain on the sneak, kind of a wasted play there, and now it's 3rd down.
Let's go. Ready.
Now this time he'll look to throw, and that is incomplete.
That incompletion brings us one snap closer to the end of this one. Maybe mercifully, partner. And let's face it, though, no surprise they're still flinging it around. They have pride, too.
Ready up. Tiger.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. They wanted to throw for it. A surprise does not work on 4th and goal from the 1. And the Chargers hold tight down near the goal line. The Charger drive about to get going. Been a very strong performance for them, really, on both sides of the football. The turnover on downs, the most recent example, and now, obviously, they're in a great spot here.
Yeah, if you're over on the bench right now, you're shaking hands with your teammate, you're hugging him, give him a little dap. Been a big, big performance for them. Now you just don't get careless. Take care of the ball on the way out.
From his own end zone, Herbert. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
There is something to a game plan when trying to keep a defense honest. With a guy with that type of speed, you do so. Send him deep. Try and throw some air under it and hope you connect downfield. On that play, they were unsuccessful.
The Chargers on 3rd down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is 3rd and 10. To throw from his end zone, Herbert. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
I think it's safe to say that he's made some questionable decisions out there so far. Forced some throws into tight coverage. He's already been picked off in this game. 4th down now, but he was fortunate on that one not to have another turnover on his ledger.
Here's Tressway now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And he'll just punch it out of there, and it's not a great kick. Taking on the midfield logo. And he'll go out of bounds right around the 40. They call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And the Texans with great field position to start this drive as they take over 1st and 10.
Here we go. Sack.
They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. And a dangerous throw there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
go. Here we go.
So second down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. He'll look to throw. And he's got it. What a catch on the sideline. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. Here's Pierce. Fighting, but he won't get too far. Maybe a yard, that's all, down to the 2. Only a yard that time, second and goal.
Good work there, holding them out on first down, and this is going to be a battle down here on the goal line. Can they hold their ground for 2, maybe even 3 more plays?
And got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Houston. A 2-yard touchdown grab. And the Texans have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th. Extra point by McCann, up and good. And they're able to cut this deficit down to 12. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Charger drive about to get going. Certainly want to avoid what they had to do last possession. That was punt the football, because this game's starting to tighten up.
In a basketball sense, you think about taking a little bit of the air out of the ball, right? Maybe milk some clock, limit the possessions. In this case, they might want to do the same thing, but control the game offensively. Put together some...
There he goes, left side. Touchdown, L.A. A big play there. His second touchdown of the game, giving him 12 on the season. And the Chargers have put this one to bed here in the 4th quarter. Extra point attempt to come here. And that one makes this a 19-point game.
Next to score, Chargers 42, Texans 23.
The kick unit on here for the Chargers as they will send this one away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25.
Let's go now.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And just looking ahead, it would appear that bye week is coming at the right time. They'll have 2 weeks to chew on this one, though probably not one that they want to chew on. A poor performance from start to finish. Defensively, you look at the numbers. Another incomplete pass that we just saw, and they're under 200 yards passing for the game, so they've done their job on that side of the ball.
Yeah, recently I was actually working a game where a quarterback had a streak of 5 straight games without a 200-yard game. And that was a big talk, both in his town and amongst his team. How do we get the passing game going? So big credit to them, holding them under 200 today.
Now this throw caught left side. And they work this well upfield across the 45. Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. To the sideline, and that is a heck of a catch as he was able to get both feet in. They'll look to throw again. He's going to air one out. And oh, it'll be intercepted. And the Chargers are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line.
Well, it's not the first time we've seen him give one up here during his rookie season. And in this case, zone coverage forced the mistake. He's made some strides week to week in how he's handling the different type of coverages that he's seeing. But clearly, there's some growing still to do.
On Herbert, his 3rd interception. Jalen Petrie picks it off, and the Texans are going to take possession of the football.
Well, their defense got him the football with an interception. They trot out their Charles on the very first play. They give the football right back.
Brandon, I almost expect you coming like an auctioneer. We've got two. Do I hear three? Remember, it was 2 in a row. Would we hit 3 in a row? Because these offenses, they got to be a little bit more careful as they go forward. These defenders, they're locked in and really focused. Even with such a big lead late, the effort hasn't lapsed one bit. If the offense wants to score some points in this one, they're going to have to earn it. These guys are not giving up anything.
He'll try again with the arm here on second down.
And, oh, that one's going to wind up incomplete. Nearly an interception in the end zone. Probably should have been. Third down coming up.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
19 tight. 19 tight.
Out of the gun now on third down. He's going to go up top for the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up fourth down.
We've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass is almost a win for you because it wasn't intercepted. I think the receivers now, when they're running their routes, they want to catch the ball, but they also want to make sure that the defenders don't take it away.
Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 35 seconds left to go.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line.
Again, he'll drop to throw. And incomplete, he dropped it. Maybe a rookie mistake there. Second down. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
And this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
Back to throw again. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
One thing you hope to see out of a rookie tight end is a real concentration when the ball's in the air, and I'm not sure that he didn't, but he has to be prepared for people making a play on it when that ball's up for grabs.
Now play number 7 of the drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 10.
Go, Reed, go.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
Has to be a little bit of frustration there. Back-to-back incompletions. Receivers blanketed on both attempts, this time on 3rd down.
Okay, break.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And it looks like the Chargers are going to win this thing. So they tried to go for it for pride, but it really wouldn't have mattered. This one, it was already determined.
No doubt about it. This one was over a while ago.
With the late lead, Herbert's going to throw it. This will be caught. It's Waddle.
And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. Right about 20 yards on the pickup. Officially, they'll say it's going to go for 19. So this one's over. It's in the win column for the LA Chargers. And they were really helped by their defense.